All right, as is tradition, gotta get a little vocal exercises before the show kicks off here. A little unique New York. How now, brown cow. The Human Torch acquired a bank loan today. The unicyclist picked up a pair of purple pants from the porcupine. I think that's the one we're gonna roll with. So, let me do some stuff real quick here. Not sure where our special guest is, so it's gonna make it a unique show. So let's ready to rumble. Welcome back, shooters, for a weird Wednesday edition of Shootin' Straight Handball podcast with, well, just me today. Missing my co-hosts. Neither Max nor Joey were able to assist me in this evening's episode. We are also without our guest for this evening, so he's working to get on, but I don't like to leave people hanging, so he should be on momentarily. In the meantime, I can fill this time with random words. How many viewers we got? We got 2. So if anybody's got any questions they want answered before the show gets rolling, just send them into the Twitch machine. Yep, I'm doing my best, Martin. So it's we're a couple last minute cancellations there. We actually were supposed to have a show yesterday, and that folded to next Monday. So we're looking to have a show next Monday, next Tuesday, next Wednesday. I don't have any problem giving out who we're going to have, but we got Jake Withers from the PLL. He'll be on Monday night. We have Sebastian Wheeler, U.S. national team pool player, on Tuesday night. Probably Tuesday afternoon because he's 6 hours ahead. And then Wednesday we have Sydney Worthy from University of Akron's women's soccer team. So whole slew of people coming down the pipe next week. So we'll keep you guys informed. So Martin wants to know about preparations for Worlds. Great question, Martin. It is absolute chaos right now. Some panicking going about regarding funding. Yeah, hold on one second. Yeah, funding is a big issue. Hold on, multitasking is tough for me. So, funding is probably issue number 1. I would say the bigger problem is just coordinating flights for the best cost, best price. So there's a lot of issues. For whatever reason, I am not handling any of this, which is part of my frustrations, is that I'm not able to step in to remediate the situation, but I have to I'm not even in on the discussions, which is just overall just a mess. So it's just chaotic, plain and simple. I'm trying to figure out why it's so complicated and why this is as difficult as it is, but it really shouldn't be that hard to book some flights for some folks at the cheapest rate, talk to some travel agents, and they can handle it. It's not rocket science. Other than that, we're getting jersey situation finalized. There was some issues with potential sponsors that fell through, so might not have as many sponsors as we'd hoped, so we're working on that front. Team, every player has been asked to work out in their own time, so they're working on that right now, and we're keeping track of that as we get closer. But we got 3 games locked up for the week of our week in Denmark, so that should be good. after that, yeah, it's a lot of watching film and trying to coordinate. I've been working a lot with Melissa to try to make sure we got the social media situation finalized and figured out so that we can best capture the situation both in Denmark and in Egypt. So a lot of fish to fry on that front. But she and I are working well together. We'll see how the rest of the squad gets things moving along. So we know there's some simple stuff that we're still waiting on, and luckily it's pretty easy to do. So without further ado, our co-host Bailey is in the house. My co-host, special guest, whatever you want to call it. So Bailey, give me 1 second here. Let me get your camera situated. Martin, the bubble situation is similar to the NBA bubble. So we will be essentially just going straight from the hotel to the facility for practice and for games. That's pretty much it. There's not going to be much tourism. There's not going to be much going out. I don't think there's going to be any going out. Even like in a group setting, we'll all kind of probably travel together. That's as best as I can. That's everything I've learned is from the document posted on the IHF website. So that's where that's at. It's should be interesting to see how it actually plays out. I don't have a lot of confidence in people sticking to the rules, but that's my job as my team manager position, is to make sure everybody follows all the COVID protocols. So we should be pretty straightforward. I mean, there's no leaving the facility. So okay, I got Bailey. Bailey, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, looks like your camera's frozen, but we can still run with it. So I got the show started without you a little bit. We had some questions in the chat about upcoming Handball World Championships regarding the bubble situation. So it's going to be interesting. It'll be very interesting. But hey, how are you doing? It's been a long time.
Yeah, no, not too bad. Yeah, it's been a few years, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think at least 2. So it's crazy. It's crazy how time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to? Tell our guests a little bit about yourself and maybe how we came about getting on this podcast.
So I'm Division III basketball player at Heidelberg University. Doing my senior year this year. Known JD for a while now. He's had me out to a few events to play some handball. Don't really know much about handball, but I'm an athlete.
Exactly. That's the important stuff. So, yeah, Bailey came out and played in our beach handball tournament, I think, last summer at Indian Lake. Did pretty well, I'd say, for never really playing outside of 4-H camp. So I think there's a lot of potential there, and that's what a lot of people sent me messages ahead of time in advance to ask you some questions about what it would take to get someone like you to transition from basketball to handball, and I'll let you answer that as best as you want to there.
Really not that much. Definitely want to, after it's gonna be hard transitioning from being an athlete all your life and competing year round almost, to go into like having a 9 to 5 and playing at the rec or something. So trying to stay in the competitive environment is definitely going to be enticing for me. It wouldn't take much convincing for me. I think hopefully there's less running in basketball. So, if I don't have to stay in shape, I can limit my cardio, which I don't think is possible, but definitely just the reason to stay in shape and stay competitive and, just try to stay young.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. I can tell you, man, I can show you my chart with my Fitbit. I keep track of my weight pretty closely. With no handball, it's been a solid 5 pounds gained, which is just frustrating because I normally have practice every night of the week or some event or something like that I can go run around for, but not the case right now. So, how have you guys been handling practice down up at Heidelberg?
Yeah, this year's definitely been different. We were actually able to start practice a week or 2 weeks earlier than normal, which I didn't really understand, because games got pushed back. We don't start playing until January 20th. Around then is our first game, but we were able to start practicing 2 weeks earlier. So, but then we could still practice. We practiced mid-October or beginning October through the week before Thanksgiving. They finally shut us down the week before Thanksgiving. That Tuesday, they shut down all sports on campus for this rest of the semester because there was a COVID outbreak. Not an outbreak, but a few
cases.
Coaches and GAs tested positive for it, and they all kind of share the same offices and stuff. So they kind of just, before it could get to the athletes or spread to the different sports, they kind of just shut everything down and cancel practices.
What's the rest of your season looking like right now? I know, like you said, you've not had the off season you would normally have. So what is the outlook for the next couple months?
We go back to campus January 3rd. We have like 2 weeks to practice, and then 2 to 3 weeks of practice before our first game, and then we're playing. We're only playing 6 teams in our conference, so they shut down, or they limited the amount of games we're playing to just 6 teams in the conference. We're playing Friday, Saturday, so we'll play the same team twice in a row. So we'll either be home or away Friday, and then the opposite Saturday. And then so we'll play 12 regular season games, and then we're going to do a 10-team tournament for the OAC, and then so everyone makes the tournament, and then you just play out the OAC tournament, and then the national tournaments after that.
Wild. Who all's the 6 teams that are in your kind of division then that you're going to play?
So we'll be playing Wilmington, John Carroll, Mount Union, Baldwin Wallace. Wilmington, John Carroll, Mount Union, Baldwin Wallace. I can tell you the 3 I'm not. We're not playing Otterbein, not playing Marietta, and not playing Muskie.
Okay. Wilmington, is that like West Virginia or the southern tip of Ohio?
I think so, yeah. It's a pretty far drive for us.
Yeah. You guys are north of Findlay, right? Or
yeah, we're just east of Findlay.
East of Findlay. Okay. Cool. So you being a senior, what's the plan for post graduation here?
Planning right now to go to BG to get my master's. So I know BG is a bigger school, so I don't know if they have a handball team there or not, but check it out if they do.
It's a good point you bring up, that we try to get a team started there. Well, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago there was a little bit of an interest, but it fell away. But luckily BG's close to Detroit, which has a pretty strong handball presence right now. My normal co-host Joey, he runs the club up there, so he would definitely not have an issue coming down to help with practice and training. And then some of the guys on the Armada, they live in Toledo, so again, not too terrible of a drive. I mean, even for me to come up, it's not that bad. But yeah, if you'd want to, I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to play club basketball or how that would, I mean, I don't know what the eligibility situation is there.
They actually gave every athlete basically a blanket season, so they don't lose eligibility. So basically I'll be eligible. I could try to walk on at BG, but that's why I'm not going to do that. But I have eligibility to play sports at the collegiate level, so.
Yeah, club has no jurisdiction over, so.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, we don't have clubs at Heidelberg, so actually our tennis team is not a club team, not an actual varsity team. But yeah, I don't know how clubs handle eligibility or anything.
Yeah, at Ohio State, a lot of times guys that were on the varsity team, depending on what the sport was, if they either ran out of years of eligibility with NCAA or didn't want to go to practice anymore, they'd go play club. I know that with club lacrosse was a big thing. You know, if they wanted to smoke weed, they would just play club lax so that they wouldn't have to get drug tested. So priorities, you know, that's D1 athlete versus drugs. Kids, man. Yeah, so you being up there, like, it's definitely some potential handball opportunities. You know, we're trying to connect the I-75 belt. We started a team down in Lexington. We got a team in Cincinnati. We got quite a good presence in Dayton, no team yet. And then we got the team in Detroit. So we're just slowly, you know, get a team in Lima rolling and, you know, Findlay, BG, Toledo. We'll have the whole 75 corridor. I don't know if I lost him. Bailey, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so a lot of potential there. But it's one of the things that comes up all the time between some of our frequent viewers is, you know, what would it take someone like yourself who might not be coming out of high school getting a D1 scholarship to play basketball, but if you were approached by, say, a coach at a D1 school to play handball, what level of you know, recruitment would be needed for that, and how would you see that being played out as someone in your situation?
Oh, that'd be interesting because you know, a lot of kids are either D1 or none type of deal, which you know ends up hurting them because they end up not playing at any collegiate level. But you know, if a coach approached you saying, "Hey, you know, if basketball doesn't work out, I think you should try this route. Like, there could be a future for you in it." Just trying to give like kids different options into how they could turn their athletic ability into either free school or you know playing after school, like start like having a career in a sport. Like I don't know if there's professional handball or not. I'm sure there is. But, you know, just informing the kid what options there are out there besides, you know, I mean, sports, basketball, football, track, wrestling. Like there's sports that are popular all over the world that you know aren't even offered, like aren't mainstream here in the U.S. Like I never heard handball until you introduced it to me. Like, it's mainly a game you played in gym class once or twice a year. You know, you bring that up because like you probably played this game before. You're back to gym class, like, hey, I was pretty good at that, you know, against other kids that don't have gym class, but most kids are interested in playing D1, or if a D1 coach is looking at them, you know, they're usually free athlete or have some athletic ability. And definitely from a basketball standpoint, the terms and the like plays and tactics are it's almost like soccer, like playing soccer in high school and playing basketball in high school. The transition was seamless, like give and go, just like the routines that you go through, just the things that the IQ that you need to have is basically almost the same for what you told me at the events I've been to, or you know, I picked them up like it was nothing because it's stuff that you learn early on in basketball. And then, you know, once you get that stuff down, it's almost second nature to you. And then like playing handball is like, oh, I know what that is. Like I can pick up on this play super easy. I know what the other team's doing because teams in basketball do the same thing. Instead of shooting it, they're just going to throw it at a net. And there's, instead of like getting, you know, you don't want to get them inside, want people to get inside the paint. There's that box around the net in handball that you don't want to, or they can't get in or whatever. Like, just, I think if you would give kids more information on the sport, because it might be a factor of, you know, they don't want to learn another sport, or they're, you know, they might think they might not be good at it because they can't pick up on it. But